It fucking worked. It actually worked. So many of you have bought these blackout cards. Thank you so fucking much.
Oh! 1, 2, 3, go. What?
Because you have no idea. Okay. Where do I start? Are you excited about jiu-jitsu?
No.
You've got to go in there with a positive attitude, Gray. I'm excited about this.
Why?
Can you make sure you just leave that wrapper there for me?
Okay.
Cool. So definitely don't put it in the bin or take it with you. Just leave it in the car like that.
I won't.
Okay, cool. These were like the last roll of the dice for Hannah and I. To be honest with you, she didn't even see me roll the dice. I had to roll it without her even knowing. When she found out I rolled the dice, she wasn't happy with me because we had to get a minimum order quantity of these things in.
When Stef said that he was planning on starting another business, at the beginning I was not happy about it.
And I was a bit worried for a while that nobody would buy them and it would be another flop. We've had lots of flops over the years. But this product has worked. In 1 week, we made back the money that we invested, and this is just on pre-sale. These aren't even available yet. They're still like being printed and packaged right now. And I'm so happy about that because it takes off so much pressure because we are shitting our pants about moving to Portugal. Because we're like, what are we gonna do when we're there? You know, what are we gonna do? I honestly think like this whole social influencer thing, I think it's kind of dead in the water. I really do, because I think where brands are like spending their money these days is on like UGC creators.
What are your rates for UGC?
Probably UGC, full-time UGC creator.
UGC
creator.
I mean, think about it. It makes sense for a brand. You can get these UGC creators for a fraction of the cost to talk about your product. What's better than paying a social influencer £1,000 to talk about your product? It's paying a UGC creator £100 to talk about your product. But what's better than that? Paying an AI creator, nothing to talk about your product.
She's an AI.
Artificial intelligence.
But she's not a real person.
It's coming. So you just enjoy that lunch while it lasts, UGC creators. Try not to choke on it.
You've all heard that old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. What they don't tell you, though, is how many baskets you actually need. Because you need to know the right egg to basket ratio. Otherwise you've got lots of baskets and no eggs to put them in. And then you've got to account for the fact that sometimes chickens like to stop laying eggs. And then suddenly you've got a bunch of baskets with no eggs to put them in. And then you need to go to like an egg bank and say, look, I need some eggs here. And they say, yeah, sure, here's 5 eggs, but we're going to want 10 back. And you say, fine, okay, sure. And then you wake up the next day and the bank have changed their mind. Now they don't just want their 10 eggs back, they want 100 eggs back, plus your child's kidney and your favourite pair of jeans. And then you realise you're now like a slave to the egg bank, and that you don't actually own any of the eggs or the baskets. The egg bank owns them all. And you don't want to be a slave anymore. So you say, have your eggs back, have all your baskets back, I'm done with this shit. And then you move to a smaller house and you grow your own food and you buy some chickens who will lay eggs for you, and then you put solar panels up and you try as hard as you can to detach from a system that's slowly fucking you.
I've been low-key like debilitated with anxiety about our future and what we're going to do, because I could see this tide shifting for quite some time.
He already has like 11 projects on the go that he's trying to like lift off the ground, which I love about him because he's so creative all of the time. Like everything turns into an idea, but with his like ADHD type brain, it's hard for him to like focus on any one thing. So sometimes when he says, oh, I've got this idea, I'm like, please no, just stay with your 11 things and finish one of them.
I'm waking up at about 2 a.m, wide awake, my brain is spinning, thinking, how the fuck are we gonna survive in this economy? And the only thing that can make me fall asleep again is if I put old World War II documentaries on Netflix. Right, I love you, good luck, see you in a minute. Put it this way, when things are going really well and you press play on one of our videos, it would be Hannah and me and the kids, and we'd be like skipping through a National Trust park, there'd be a Tom Rosenhall song playing, everything would be wonderful, maybe I'd do some spoken word poetry over it. That's when things are going well. when things aren't going well and I'm getting up at freaking 2 a.m. to watch the Third Reich storm beaches of Normandy because I can't sleep, then that affects the type of content I'm creating. You can kind of see my eye twitch, and I'm not really like creating authentic content because I'm wrestling with this uncertainty and not knowing how we're gonna like pay our bills. And also not wanting to really talk about it because A, it's a bit embarrassing, and B, I don't know, I don't want to be called ungrateful or stupid for making a bunch of wrong decisions in my life. So it's best not to talk about it. And then you're not putting up authentic content. It's a bit of a death spiral from there, you see. No wonder these brands are going to UGC creators. You don't have to deal with these existential crises.
When things in life are going really well, you have the propensity to think, this is just how it's going to be forever now. It's always going to be like this. You think if anything, it's just going to get better. If anything, things are going to get better and better. You don't think it's ever going to change. And then it does slowly change because of the universal truth to life. And that is 2 simple words: nothing lasts. I mean, I know that sounds a little bit macabre, but it's a positive thing. It's, you know, it's the finite nature of everything that makes it all so precious and special. Oh, sorry, I sounded like a prick then. Precious and special. God. I'm really going downhill.
What we needed to do, what I knew I needed to do, is I needed to somehow manifest something, create something, manifest a business or an idea that could essentially do one very important thing: enable me to do what I want to do more than anything else, and that is this. Right? And when I make a video, it's brilliant for my mind because it's basically just like a blank canvas. Every time I get like a blank canvas, like paint whatever you want, Stef, do whatever. There's no repetition in it. I can just go anywhere and do anything. I can sit there and I can sit and I can write something and I can come up with a new idea. I just have complete carte blanche. What I can do is just up to me, and it suits my brain. But I needed to create something in order to sustain this because those big YouTube sponsorships really aren't there anymore. And finally, I did it. I found the thing. I got lucky because I had to get lucky. Eventually, if you keep trying and you keep getting back up, something will eventually work. The important thing is you're not afraid to fail, because I have failed so many times. But this hasn't failed. This has done really well, and I think this will be our thing now.
It's been so amazing to see over the last couple of weeks since he's launched the blackout cards, this thing that he's really passionate about kicking off and becoming like a viable business.
I'm gonna make more versions of this, and I'm gonna make different types of cards, and I'm gonna double down like a bastard on these things, because they help kids to articulate their thoughts and ideas, they bring families closer together, they do all the right things, and they get us off our screens, which is the most important thing.
It's something that brings joy to people, that genuinely like lightens life a little bit. Like, life is so heavy, and you know, I think as parents as well, speaking for myself, I feel a lot of pressure all the time to have like really deep connections and be doing things, and you know, it's a lot. So I think with the blackout cards, that's what I love about them, is just that it's not hard. It's not hard, and it doesn't feel forced, and it's, you know, having that little moment of wholesomeness with your family that doesn't feel forced. And I think that's what I am so happy for Stef with this project, is that he's really passionate about bringing that to other people's families because of how we've experienced it in our own family.
7 hours a day on average people spend looking at their freaking dickhead phones. Over 7 hours a day on average. And I think I'm in that demographic because I'm completely and utterly addicted to my phone. I'm missing so many memories and so many moments with my kids because I can't stop looking at this fucking rectangular prick. When you've got an ADHD brain, it just needs constant stimulation.
I don't know, sometimes I get a little bit like frustrated with his ADHD brain because I feel like my brain's like the opposite, and I get overstimulated really easily. So I can only do one thing at a time, and I have to block out all the noise. And his computer, if you look at it, is like 25 tabs or more. Mine's like 2. And if there's any more, I'm like, oh God, I can't focus.
It's why I find stuff like TikTok so insidious, because they know that anyone with ADHD just gets hooked on it. And one thing that they do in their UI and their user interface, which completely proves my point here, is that when you finish watching a TikTok video, it doesn't refresh to the next video. It repeats the same one over again. And you know why they do that dirty little trick? It's because they keep you engaged. You can't have your phone in the background just playing the videos. They want you to constantly interact with it, to always be there, looking at it, touching it, feeling it, absorbing it. It's a scummy move. Anyone with ADHD cannot handle repetition. They cannot handle hearing the same thing twice. Somebody telling you an anecdote that you've already heard, if you've got ADHD, is one of the most painful things you can experience. It's like doing a plank with like some big old mama sitting on your back.
If you're gonna make a business around anything, it feels good knowing that it's a business that is gonna help people in some way and to help families get off their screens and become closer, even if it's just answering like one card a day after dinner. It becomes like a fun ritual, or if it's like, you know, your wider extended family at Christmas, or when the grandparents are babysitting and they don't just want to dump the kids in front of the TV, and situations like that where it's just so applicable to family life. And it just feels really nice knowing that, you know, that's what this product is giving people.
Oh, and can I just say that anyone who is doing well in this economy, if you're doing well, if you're not worried or stressed about money, hats off to you. Well done. You've obviously made some very clever decisions and life choices, and I commend you. I commend you, I truly do. Well done.
He's really passionate and focused, and it's really nice to see that from his scrambled ADHD creative brain.
Fucking dogs.